The person you wanted to spend the rest of your life with doesn't want you to know how much they still love you. Stop. Don't scroll past this, because something in you slowed down before your mind decided to keep going. That pause was not nothing. It was not random. If these words reached you today, it is because the timing was never an accident. Listen to this. Because your heart needs this right now. There is something the person you once imagined your whole future with is hiding from you, and it is not what your fears might whisper. It is not something meant to hurt you. The thing they are hiding, the thing they would never say out loud, the thing they guard so carefully behind their calm expression and their casual words, is how much they still love you. That is the secret. That is what they do not want you to know. This message is for you, because some truths are too tender to speak. Some feelings are so deep that admitting them feels like standing at the edge of a cliff, with no idea what waits below. And for the person who once pictured forever with you, their love became exactly that kind of truth. Too big to say, too frightening to admit, too vulnerable to risk, so they buried it. They tucked it behind a steady voice and an ordinary smile, and they hoped no one would ever see how much of their heart still belongs to you. But a feeling that strong does not stay buried forever, and lately, it has been pressing against the surface, harder than it ever has before. Don't scroll, listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Have you felt something strange lately, a heaviness with no clear source, a wave of emotion arriving from nowhere, a sudden thought of someone you had been trying not to think about, surfacing in the middle of an ordinary day? That was not your imagination. When someone loves you in secret, when they pour that love into silence, because they are too afraid to speak it, the feeling does not simply disappear. It travels, it reaches across the distance. And lately, you have been feeling the weight of a love that someone has been carrying quietly. A love they do not yet have the courage to place into your hands. This message is for you because of the signs that keep appearing around you. The 1111 that shows up when your mind is somewhere else, as if to mark a new beginning, waiting to unfold. The 222 that surfaces in the strangest moments, as if to remind you that you are not alone. The 333 that arrives in your quietest hours. The 444 that appears exactly when you need to feel held. These are not coincidence, and they were never meant only for you. The person hiding their love for you has been seeing them too. Every time they try to convince themselves, the feeling has faded, another number appears. Every time they tell themselves to let go, another reminder arrives, insisting that what they feel was never meant to be forgotten. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Understand this clearly, because it matters more than anything else in this message. The reason they do not want you to know is not because their love is small. It is because their love is enormous, and enormous love is terrifying to admit. They are afraid that if they say it, they will be too exposed. They are afraid that if they reach for you and you have moved on, the loss will be unbearable. They are afraid that too much time has passed, that they waited too long, that they forfeited the right to feel this way. So they hide it. Not because it is not real, but because it is so real, that revealing it feels like the most dangerous thing in the world. This message is for you, because the person who once imagined building a life with you, has not let go of that vision the way they pretend they have. In their quiet moments, when no one is watching, that future still flickers in their mind. The version of life where you were beside them. The version where they did not let fear win. the version where they were brave enough to hold on to what mattered. They have tried to bury that vision along with their feelings, but it keeps returning, uninvited and undeniable, reminding them of everything they were too afraid to claim. Don't scroll, listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There are moments when this person can feel your energy so clearly that it almost feels like you are standing beside them. They think of you and feel a sudden calm. They remember you and feel a sudden ache. And lately those moments have intensified, because the love they are hiding has grown too large to ignore. It is no longer a quiet background hum. It has become a constant presence, following them through their days, surfacing in their dreams, reminding them again and again of the one thing they cannot bring themselves to say. This message is for you, because this person remembers things about you that they were never supposed to remember. Small moments, quiet conversations, the sound of your laugh, the way the air felt lighter when you were near. They remember how safe your presence felt, how understood they felt, how rare it was to find someone whose soul simply matched theirs. And lately those memories have grown sharper, more vivid, more impossible to push away, because the love they are hiding gives those memories weight. It turns them from distant recollections into living reminders of everything they still feel and refuse to admit. Don't scroll, listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The thing about hidden love is that it does not stay quiet. It leaks. It leaks into their tone when your name comes up. It leaks into the way they grow distracted when they think of you. It leaks into the moments they pull away suddenly, not because they stopped caring, but because being near the subject of you became too overwhelming to bear. Every time they tried to act unaffected, the love underneath made them clumsy. Every time they tried to seem indifferent, their heart betrayed them in small ways. They hoped you would not notice. This message is for you, because the universe has been moving this person through a powerful awakening, and lately it has forced their hidden love closer to the surface than ever. For a long time they chose safety over honesty. They chose silence over vulnerability. They ran from the feeling because admitting it meant risking everything. But the awakening has been chipping away at their defenses. It has been showing them, slowly and undeniably, that the love they are hiding is not a weakness to be ashamed of, but a truth they have been denying for far too long. And the more they see that, the harder it becomes to keep it buried. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The angel numbers surrounding this person have become impossible to ignore. They see 555 in this season of change, as if the universe is preparing them for something new. They see 777 in their quiet moments of awakening, as if to confirm they are finally on the right path. They see 222 whenever their mind drifts toward togetherness. They see 444 whenever they need to feel they are not alone, and lately, every one of those numbers feels like a nudge, a gentle insistence from the universe, pointing them toward the one thing they have been too afraid to do. Stop hiding. Speak the truth. Let them know. This message is for you because the love this person hides is forcing them into honesty with themselves, even when they resist it. No distractions, no clever explanations, just the truth. They keep asking themselves the question they cannot escape. Do I still love them? Not the safe answer, not the easy answer, the truth. And every time they listen, the answer comes back the same. Yes, more than they have ever admitted. More than they let themselves believe. And the more clearly they hear that answer, the harder it becomes to keep pretending. the harder it becomes to keep the secret, the harder it becomes to hold a love this large in silence. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. One of the hardest things this person has had to accept is that time did not weaken their love. If anything, time revealed how deep it truly runs. Passing feelings fade, surface attractions fade, temporary connections fade. Yet what they feel for you stayed and not unchanged. It grew clearer, it grew stronger, it grew more honest, and lately that truth has become impossible to deny. The love did not fade. It only went underground, waiting in the dark, growing quietly, until the day they would finally find the courage to bring it into the light. This message is for you because the secret they keep is not a burden they enjoy carrying. It is a weight that exhausts them. Every day they wake up and choose silence. The silence grows heavier. Every day they avoid the truth presses harder. Hiding a love this large takes effort, takes energy, takes a constant quiet vigilance that wears them down, and lately, they are growing tired of pretending, tired of guarding the secret, tired of holding back a feeling that wants nothing more than to be spoken and set free. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There is something that happens when a person can no longer bear to hide what they feel. The fear that kept them silent begins to lose its grip, the excuses they relied on begin to fall apart. And this person is reaching that exact point. The love they have been hiding has grown louder than the fear that silenced it. The truth has grown stronger than the story they told themselves. And somewhere inside, they are beginning to understand that they cannot keep this secret forever, that a love this large was never meant to stay locked away. This message is for you because, alongside the love they hide, this person is feeling something they did not expect. Gratitude that you ever entered their life at all. Gratitude for the moments, the memories, the way you made them feel seen. The love they conceal is not only longing, it is appreciation, but is the quiet recognition of how rare you are, how rare what you shared was, how easily they almost let fear convince them it did not matter, and that gratitude is making the secret even harder to keep, because the more grateful they feel, the more they want you to know the truth. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The way this person sees risk has completely changed. For years they believed vulnerability was the danger. They believed honesty was the gamble. They believed letting you know they still loved you was the surest way to get hurt. But lately something has shifted. The risk of staying silent now feels far greater than the risk of being honest. The risk of letting this love stay hidden forever now feels far more frightening than the risk of finally speaking it. And lately, the idea of telling you the truth feels less like a danger and more like the only thing that could finally give them peace. This message is for you, because everything this person has lived prepared them for this moment. Every heartbreak taught them what they truly value. Every disappointment showed them what they truly need. Every guarded, lonely stretch built toward this turning point. And now, with the love they hide, pressing harder than ever against the surface, all of it is coming together. Looking back, they can see how every chapter led them here, to the edge of finally admitting what their heart always knew. None of it was wasted. All of it had a purpose, and that purpose is becoming clear. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. This person has stopped asking whether their love is real. Lately, they know it is real. They have stopped asking whether the feeling is genuine. Lately, they could never deny it. The questions have changed. Now they ask whether they are ready to trust it, whether they are ready to speak it, whether they are finally ready to let the secret out and risk the vulnerability that comes with it. And lately, against all the fear that once ruled them, the answer forming inside them is beginning to sound like yes. This message is for you, because the love they hide has a voice, even when they refuse to use it, and the message that voice is reaching for is simpler than you might imagine. It says, I never stopped loving you. It says, I have been carrying this in silence because I was too afraid to say it. It says, please do not give up on this before I find the courage to tell you the truth. That is the secret beneath their calm. That is the message beneath their silence. That is the love they have been hiding. The love they do not want you to know about. Only because admitting it feels like the bravest, most frightening thing they could ever do. Don't scroll, listen to this. Because your heart needs this right now. Think about all the times you sensed something they would not say. The pause in their voice. The look that lingered a moment too long. The way they grew quiet when the conversation drifted somewhere tender. You were not imagining those moments. Each one was the love they hide, slipping through the cracks. Each one was the truth trying to escape before they could stop it. And the more aware of them you become, the more clearly you can see that the silence between you was never empty. It was full of everything they could not bring themselves to say. This message is for you because hiding a love this large changes a person. It makes them restless. It makes them distracted. It makes them feel as though they are living two lives at once. The outer life where they appear unaffected, and the inner life where their heart is consumed by you. And lately, those two lives have become harder and harder to keep separate. The love keeps bleeding through, the truth keeps surfacing, and the careful performance of indifference is becoming impossible to maintain. Don't scroll, listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There is a reason this is reaching you now, and not a year ago, not a month ago, but now. It is because the love this person hides has reached a breaking point. It can no longer stay contained. It has grown too large for the silence that once held it, and when a feeling reaches that point, something has to give. The truth has to find a way out. It may come through a message. It may come through a moment of unexpected honesty. It may come through a slip they did not plan. But one way or another, the love they have been hiding is moving toward the light, and it is closer to reaching you than it has ever been. This message is for you, because the universe has been preparing this person. Through every lesson they have faced, every heartbreak taught them resilience, every disappointment taught them clarity, every lonely night taught them what they truly want. Looking back now, they can see how each experience was leading them toward this moment. A moment where they must choose between hiding their love forever, or finally being brave enough to speak it, and the more they reflect, the more they realize that hiding it is no longer something they can live with. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There was a recent moment when this person imagined a future in which they never told you the truth, where they kept the secret until it was truly too late, where they watched the chance slip away and spent the rest of their life wondering what might have happened. And the feeling that followed was not relief. It was not peace. It was regret. Deep, aching regret, the kind that comes from imagining a lifetime of silence around the one truth that mattered most. And that single realization shook them, because suddenly the fear of speaking felt smaller than the fear of never speaking at all. This message is for you, because the love they hide is not fading with time. It is growing, and the larger it grows, the harder it becomes to keep secret, and the closer it comes to finally being revealed. They may not know exactly when they will find the courage, they may not know exactly how the words will come, but one thing is becoming impossible to deny. Their heart is moving toward honesty. The secret is moving toward the surface, and the love they have hidden for so long is preparing slowly but surely to finally be spoken. Scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. If you have felt something lately, a heaviness, a wave of emotion, an unexpected thought of someone you had been trying to forget, now you understand why. You were not imagining it. The energy between two connected souls does not lie, and lately the love this person hides has been reaching toward you, even from behind their silence. While you moved through your days, they were somewhere carrying a feeling too large to hold, somewhere loving you quietly, somewhere wishing. They were brave enough to let you know, this message is for you because something is approaching that this person can feel but cannot yet name. A realization, a breakthrough, a moment of truth. The love they hide is pushing them toward it. The signs are clearer, the emotions are clearer, the fear is weaker, and for the first time in a long while, telling you the truth feels less frightening than keeping it hidden ever was. They are standing at the edge of a transformation. Behind them is the version of themselves ruled by fear. Ahead of them is the version ready to be honest, ready to be brave, ready to finally speak the love they have guarded for so long. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. There was a time when this person believed they had all the time in the world to figure this out. Now they understand how quickly life moves, how chapters close, how moments slip away, while we wait for a perfect time that never quite arrives, and the realization that they could lose the chance to tell you the truth has become one of the strongest forces inside them. They no longer want to be ruled by hesitation. They no longer want to live a story written by fear, especially when the truth they are hiding is a love that never died. This message is for you, because the breakthrough this person has been moving toward is closer now than it has ever been. The love they hide has brought them to the edge of it. The signs are clearer, the emotions are clearer, the path is clearer, and as everything continues to align, they are approaching a realization that may change the course of this entire connection. The realization that the universe was never asking them to wait forever. It was waiting for them to find the courage to speak the truth. And once that truth fully settles into their soul, the very next step they take, the next message, the next moment of bravery, may become the moment that finally brings the love they have hidden into the light, and brings the two of you back toward each other. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. Understand this with absolute certainty. The thing they do not want you to know was never meant to hurt you. It was never a secret built to deceive you. It was a love so large, it frightened them into silence. A love they buried, not because it was small, but because it was overwhelming. A love they have carried alone for far too long, hoping you would never see how deeply they still feel. And now, finally, that love is growing too large to hide, too strong to silence, too true to keep buried any longer. This message is for you because, beneath everything they conceal, the truth is steady and undeniable. You mattered to them, you still matter to them. The future they once imagined with you never fully left their heart, and the love they have been hiding, the love they do not want you to know about, is the very thing that has been keeping that future alive in their mind, all this time, quietly waiting for the day they would finally be brave enough to reach for it again. So today, when you feel that wave of emotion arrive again, when an unexpected thought of them surfaces, when you sense their energy lingering in a way you cannot explain, remember this: you did not imagine it. Somewhere right now, the person who once imagined a whole life with you is carrying a love too large to hide. Somewhere right now, the secret they guard so carefully is not a betrayal, but a feeling that never died, and the truth they have hidden for so long, the truth that they still love you, is now closer than it has ever been to finally finding its way home. Don't scroll. Listen to this one last time, because your heart needs this right now. The silence between you was never the end of the story. It was only the pause before the truth, and that truth, the love they have been hiding, the love they do not want you to know about, only because it is so much larger than they ever knew how to say, is moving toward you now. Not in darkness, not in secrecy, but in the slow, certain way that real love always finds its way back to the heart it was always meant for. And when it finally arrives, you will understand why you felt it, long before they ever found the words.